Dear students, can you think of life without electricity? I am sure the answer must be no. The increasing number of cities, setting up of new industries, and emerging lifestyle, we all need a continuous supply of energy. We can say that for the continuous supply of energy, we all need energy resources. So students, I, Seema Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, will be sharing some information about energy resources. The economic development of any country is directly linked with the energy resources. Energy is the fundamental need of the society, or we can say that energy is the prime input of a country. In older days, the sources of energy were limited. Later on, human beings discovered fossil fuels, water mills, windmills for energy requirement. On account of industrialization, urbanization, agricultural, technology, transmission and transport, the demand of energy has increased largely. So, we can say that we human beings are dependent on energy resources for development. So, the first question is, what are energy resources? Energy resources are natural resources from which we get energy, or we can say that any material or substance present in nature and is used to obtain energy is known as energy resources. So, dear students, for obtaining energy, we need energy resources. Let us see what are the types of energy resources. The sources of energy or energy resources can be divided into two broad categories. The first is renewable or non-conventional energy resources, and the second is non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. Now let us see what are renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources are the sources of energy that are present in nature and being continuously produced by nature, or we can say all these are non-exhaustible. That means as much as we consume these resources, these are reproduced, recycled by the nature. Renewable sources are present in unlimited amount, and these are the resources we can get in unlimited amount that is present in nature. These resources can be produced themselves in nature and can be harvested continuously without ever ending. Though these resources are rapidly renewed and recycled in nature, these resources are sustainable energy resources. The examples of renewable energy resources are solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, hydro energy, biomass energy, and atomic energy, and there are many more examples that can be listed as renewable energy resources. The renewable resources are also known as clean energy resources because when we utilize these resources, the possibility of carbon emission and pollution is very less. So, dear students, now let us see what are non-renewable sources of energy. Non-renewable sources of energy are also present in nature, but these are not reproducible. That means when we consumed these resources, these are exhausted. We can also say that these non-renewable sources are present in finite reserves or in limited amount, and their formation requires millions of years. The examples of non-renewable resources are coal, petroleum, mineral oils, natural gas, nuclear substances such as uranium and thorium. So, dear students, as we know, Both kinds of energy resources, renewable and non-renewable, are present in nature. So, we should be aware of that renewable resources do not emit greenhouse gases. So are clean sources of energy, and non-renewable resources or conventional energy resources are main cause of pollution and climate change. So, the question arises here is if non-renewable create pollution and present in limited amount, and renewable resources are clean sources of energy and present in unlimited amount, should we use renewable or should we use non-renewable sources of energy? So definitely the answer is we should use renewable sources of energy. Dear students, one more essential concept that is related to energy resources is conservation of energy. All the conventional energy resources such as fossil fuel are limited and exhaustible, as we know. Rapid growth of population putting a heavy stress on all the resources of energy. As the world population is growing and we need energy in much faster rate to meet the requirement of development. Urbanization and industrialization have increased the demand for the energy resources. Dear students, without energy, nothing will happen. So, there is a need to conserve the energy resources. It is possible to use energy in a responsible way, or we can say that we should use energy in a sustainable way, or we should conserve the energy resources. When we talk about the measures or strategies of conservation of energy, some of the measures that are suggested by Energy Conservation Act 2001 for conservation of energy, and all these are as follow. The first one is we should use the alternative and non-conventional or renewable sources of energy such as solar, wind, and there are many more. The next is we should use biogas as a source of energy. The next is we should utilize power saving appliances to conserve energy at individual or at community level. We should use fuel efficient automobiles. That is one of the best way to conserve the energy. As a responsible citizen, we should turn off electrical appliances when not in use. These are very few measures. There are many more to conserve the energy resources. So, dear students, this is the responsibility of each and every human being to conserve and utilize the energy resources in a sustainable manner. We all should contribute in the conservation of energy at our levels. I am very sure that a single individual can make a difference in the conservation of all the natural resources, including energy resources. Let us we all be a part in the conservation of energy resources. So, dear students, we will discuss different measures and effective measures for the conservation of natural resources in the next module. Thank you.